Well, it's no longer news that Nigeria's northeast region is in dire need of global assistance to overcome the devastation of insurgency witnessed in the last couple of years. As part of efforts in tackling this challenge, the international humanitarian organization Oxfam is calling on the global community for urgent support, while asking the federal government to do more to give every region a sense of belonging. The executive director of Oxfam International, Mrs. Winnie Bianyima, said this in an exclusive interview with our correspondent, Runke Raji, at the sidelines of the World Bank IMF spring meetings in Washington.
The military is making progress on claiming back some towns, but the situation is that people are only safe in the towns the military is controlling. They are restricted. They can't even move several kilometers outside to farm. So the hunger is severe. They are depending on food aid, and I was calling on the international community to deliver more food aid, because the people in the areas that are still inaccessible are probably starving because we don't even know their situation. And there's a lot of movement. When the military takes over an area, then people start coming there because it's safe. Others are coming from Cameroon. I met women who had just arrived and some who had been there for 3 months, the ones who had not even yet received a tent, who were sleeping in the open. So there's need for humanitarian assistance to come urgently. Nigeria cannot cope with this alone. The international community should support. But ultimately, the Nigerian government, which is a rich government, needs to put in long-term solutions to the conflict, end the conflict, and to develop the area.
Shifting attention from the crisis in the northeast to Medicare in the south-south, as part of efforts to give back to its host community, the Niger Navy shipyard, the NNS Pathfinder is extending free medical services to residents of Mbu Odohia community in Obiakpo local government area of Rivers State. Over 300 men, women and children, including the elderly, were seen at the venue of the exercise, being attended to by naval medical staff.
We are here today to interact with the community, our host community. For over the years, they've harbored us, they've taken care of us, and they've shown us hospitality. So today, what we are doing here today is to give back to the community from what they've been giving us. Today, we have a stand for them to check their vital signs, blood pressure, temperature, respiratory rates. Then you have doctors, about 5 doctors on ground, to attend to their complaints. After which they are being sent to the lab to have the laboratory tests on them. They will have a section for the children, mainly for immunization, vitamin A precisely, and the women of children going on as well. Then we have the eye section that is providing readable glasses for the aged people in the community.
We in Border here, thank you people for coming to give us all this medicine today. And we are thanking so that by the next time, if people can come and then look how we are, whether we are growing or we are coming down.
Now, an action plan is what is required to eradicate piracy in Africa's continental waters. This is a challenge coming from the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, to African leaders in Abuja, who gathered to brainstorm on ways of dealing with the menace. The Vice President also identified the need for adequate regulation in the maritime sector. Our correspondent, Gloria Omezuke, reports.
Please settle down now, His Excellency.
The Vice President's arrival to Africa's Prime Maritime Conference, the third in the series of conferences by the Association of African Maritime Administrators.
Your Excellency.
Addressing participants, Professor Osinbajo urged greater regional collaboration.
Many difficulties, but incredible opportunities. The good news is that we are on the right path. Collaboration and synergies. Our countries have to continue to develop the maritime sector, beginning with the national level to the sub-regional and regional levels. We are giving required support to the Nigerian Navy and other security agencies so that they can work with others within our sub-region to effectively police our waterways for trade to flourish. These arrangements will also contribute to resolving and eliminating piracy and sea robbery within our maritime domain.
The Speaker of the House of Representatives disclosed statistics of the Pan-African fish trade, which is worth about 20 billion euros, prompting the need to intensify efforts to promote intra-African trade in fisheries, while the Minister of Transport criticized the over-reliance on foreigners to drive the industry.
Unreported and unregulated IUU fishing leads to a loss of over 1.3 billion United States dollars in West Africa alone. Yearly, that is yearly. We must tighten the legal and regulatory framework to stop these losses. It is in this regard that we pledge our commitment to speedy processing of the proposed bill for an act to provide for the suppression of piracy and other unlawful acts at sea and other related offenses.
Africa, with its vast expanse of arable land and mineral resources, depends on import and export trade for economic survival. What we need is a coordinated approach so that Africa can benefit optimally from shipping and the blue economy. The African human capacity is greatly underdeveloped, leaving us to rely on foreigners to drive our industry. There is also near total absence of trained Coast Guard to monitor our maritime domain. It is therefore time not only to declare our independence, but to show it.
The Vice President then unveiled the logo for the new Nimasa brand. Now the call reverberates for Nigeria in particular to deepen infrastructural investment in a transparent manner to stimulate local growth for the enduring interests of Africa. Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television News.